you know, you take up a particular field at a great speed because you finish your 10th standard, finish your 12th standard, then you finish your college, then you know, you perform pretty well in either of these, and then you get a job, and then you're just moving at a great pace. And then at some stage, you know, everybody goes through this where you look and you wonder whether, you know, do you want to keep on developing software for somebody else, or do you want to just try out something that you really feel that you're cut out for? And then there are people around you who are your close, near and dear ones who really are your well-wishers, and they you know, give you proper advice. So like my friends and my wife and all these people, they said that, you know, there can be many engineers, but there can be only one Shankar.
My next question is to do with music. I mean, that's your big strength. You know, when we see as audience in a movie, everything seems to come together so beautifully. The hero, heroine, music, singing, everything is so nicely context-driven. But before you even venture into that, there's a vision, there's a certain picture all of you see. What goes about in making music, making a song, for example? Where does it start and how does it all come together?
See, actually, when I'll talk with respect to a film, for example. In any film, I think the process of making music is the first thing that happens. Before that, there's nothing. There's only a script, and everything is abstract. And then the director comes and meets us and says, "We have to do this particular song, and it has to have this feel, and it's about these three friends, and they're just driving down to Goa or whatever. You know, they just say it should have a very chilled out vibe, and he gives you a. Then we are with an empty canvas over there. We are asked, and the director tells us, "Okay, now paint." So ours is a very tough job because we start off the process of the film. Actually, that gives a certain. I don't know how to define it. It gives a certain color, a certain texture, a certain feel to the film. For example, Rock On, if you go to see. When we started off with the music of Rock On, we did not know what exactly is it going to be, rock fusion. We knew that it's going to be rock music. Is it going to be rock fusion, or is it going to be what some other Indian element is supposed to be added to it? What are the kind of lyrics? What is the psychology of the band? You know, we have to think into the characters. And we create the music. And based on that, then the director uses that as a trigger, and he goes ahead. So it is basically, you know, we have these abstract notes floating around, and we just pick a few notes and join them together. And we have a lyricist who got, you know, words floating around in his database. He takes that, puts them together, and the song is ready. As simple as that.
So what comes first, the tune or the lyrics?
It can be either way. Sometimes, you know, just a small tune, it just triggers you. I'll give the example of one of our very super flop songs called Kalmana Ho. I hope you have heard it. So I tell you how that got created. You know, Loy was just having breakfast with the director in Pune, and suddenly the tune just comes, and he got this idea. You get only this riff. That's what, you know, that's our job at the end of the day. You know, we have to, otherwise we'll be out of the industry. So these ideas, they come, and we are all constantly thinking music, I guess that's how. Or some raga, you hear something, some tune triggers of something else, you know. Or sometimes you hear something that is completely non-musical. You hear the rhythm of a train, for example, and that triggers a piece of music. Maybe it's a guitar riff. Then you write around the riff. Or in Dil Chahta, if you see the that is more like a very Celtic music kind of thing. Anything can trigger anything. I'm sure it's while you're developing so many. I mean, your job is very similar to ours. You know, it's a creative process. So when you sit out there in front of your monitor or whatever. No, you are not sitting in the monitor. Or maybe you're sitting in the cafeteria. So the initial thoughts that come, that is very good. You have to respect that. You have to respect that and allow that thought to marinate, to grow a little bit, because that thought may become into a very big idea. There's a similar philosophy we use to song.
So do ideas also get stopped even before it sees the light of the day?
Yeah, many ideas. Sometimes, that's why the big fight happens. Somebody comes up with a small little tune and, the other two, like Ehsan and Loy, or sometimes the Ehsan comes with a me and Loy, we bash it right in the beginning. But that's a very dangerous thing, An idea, when it comes, I think you have to allow that idea to have its space to grow into that completed product. Then after that, you feel it doesn't work, crash it out, no problem. But I think you come up with an idea, you have to allow it to, expand on it, work on it a little more, and then there is a chance that may become the biggest super hit song of the year.
It's interesting. 3 is already a crowd. So how do 3 of you work together
This
and
is
still
a
make
crowd.
good music?
Sorry?
How do 3 of you come together to really create music? It's a creative process. There must be a lot of difference of opinion, fights. I don't know. How
We
does
are
it work?
short of just, pounding each other. We fight a lot. We argue a lot. We have solid difference of opinion. Over every song, not some of the songs, every song. But that's what it's about. I was just telling somebody that we are not doing synchronized swimming over here. We have got our own identities. We have our own ideas. We have our own musical preferences. Sometimes something that I bring classically may not appeal to myself. I'll say, Loy may like it. He'll say, oh, this is wonderful. But I say, no, this doesn't work. You have to put your Western thing or something like that. So everybody, there's a lot of argument, a lot of counter-argument. Then, eventually that feeling comes. It's the feeling that the song gives you. That everybody in the room eventually comes to that agreement, this particular thing works. And that's what we wait for. Otherwise, we have our boxing gloves ready. So.
I'm sure our employees would be keen to know which of your songs is your favorite and why.
Somebody's mobile phone is... मेरे तरफ से दिखाई दो. It's very difficult to say which is your favorite song. It's like children, It's like giving birth to children. It's like they are all our children. Just because a child is not performing that well, you don't say that I don't love that child. And just because one child is a super hit song, say, this is my favorite. You can't do that. I think we love all of our creations, but some of them are, slight, as you can say, milestones in our career. Like maybe Breathless is one in my career, which I created. Then there was Dil Chahta Hai, then there was Kal Manao, then there is Kajrare, then there is Rock On, then so many examples, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. So all these things, they have helped us move forward and remain in the industry. But they are all our babies. We love them.
And which one is your most awful song in your mind?
There's so many of them.
So who are them?
We have played some bad ones.
What do you think of Kolavari D?
I think it is a funky, beautiful song. I love it. And I just met Anirudh, the composer, because I know his parents really well. See, I think Kolavari D is not a hit song. It is not a super hit song. It is a phenomenon. And you don't have an explanation for why a song of this, it's a beautiful song. But why it has reached this status, nobody knows. Nobody on this planet knows. There is somebody from Africa, he एक दिन अच्छा मूड में रहता है, he is in a good mood में, इसको ना बना दो phenomenon. And that is collaborative. Trust me. There's an example. Of course, that song didn't become as popular as this. For same Dhanush. Have you seen Dhanush? Yeah. Imagine, he is rocking. I mean, look at him. Does he look anywhere? But he's touched. I mean, he's blessed from above. You need that blessing. You need some, and then suddenly everything falls in place. I had sung a song for him, for Dhanush, when he, in one of his, no, this is not before that. This is a song called Manmata Rasa. That song, I sang that song on the way to the airport in exactly 15 minutes. I just sang to the guy, the Dina, said, sir, come, please come and sing quickly. There's one song for you. I just went behind the mic. I didn't even hear the song. He was prompting one line, record. One line, record. It was like that. Finished because I had to catch a flight and I went. And then I hear that this song has become a big hit. So a few years back, Dhanush's big song. Then I said, oh, maybe the lyrics are fantastic. Maybe that's why I heard the lyrics. What is the big deal? Why did this become a... Sir, 36 years, there's no big hit like this. It's played to the A class, B class, C class, D class, E class, everybody hear this song. I said, oh, maybe the picturization must be. Then I ordered for the DVD in Bombay because I had not seen the film. Then I saw the picturization. That is a phenomenon. You don't have explanation for certain things. So that's what it is. But Polarity is not a bad song, it's a good song. It's a good song, it's a funky song. The lyrics, it brings a smile to your face. And it has got the hit variety. But why it became a phenomenon?
Sometimes when you're in this creative process, you believe a lot in a song, in a tune you're creating, and you put your heart and soul in it. Finally, when it hits the market, it could be a flop. Yeah. So how do you deal with failures?
See, you have to be prepared for that right from the beginning, because you realize that we are the creators and we are not the listeners. You people are the listeners. So when we create, we are on the other side of the court. We are trying to bring about something that you people have not heard before. There is a whole chance of it becoming a super hit. You are accepting it because you people react to it based on your vocabulary, your knowledge of music, what you have heard before in relation to something. You are not creators. You listen to it and react to it. So you are completely justified if you are just throw a composition out of the window because you don't like it. And for us, we all the time, just because a particular thing, now suppose I start creating 10 collaborators. It doesn't make sense because it can be only one collaborating, it was a hit. Now you don't try to replicate that. You go into another genre, try to improvise using other songs, other feel, other genres, other forms of music, and try to experiment with that and come up with something new. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, great.
In our industry, Shankar, there's a lot about innovation, bringing out innovative products, but at the same time, we deal with a lot of deadlines. Your profession is also very creative. You have to innovate. How can you be creative when you have a deadline?
See, I think the biggest thing that inspires a person to innovate is the deadline. So if a song has to be delivered in 15 days, it takes you 14 days to create that song. If it has to be delivered in 3 days, it takes 2 days to create the song. Simple.
We know that most of us, I'm sure, read the Filmfare and Bangalore Times every morning, Bangalore Mirror, for example. We read about these camps in Bollywood, yeah? Shah Rukh Khan camp and Salman Khan camp and Amir Khan camp. Which one do you belong to?
I think we are I think one satellite going over all the camps. Yeah, because we worked with Amir on we worked in Tari Zameen Par Dil Chahta Hai. We worked with Shah Rukh in so many films actually. My Name is Khan too. And Salman also we worked. So I think musicians are free of this camping business. I think they should just set up their camp in maybe Himalayas or something. I think if you're a good musician, all camps want you.
Excellence is important.
Absolutely.
Little bit about yourself, Shankar. I mean, your own journey to reach where you have reached in this highly competitive industry. What are your 2-3 messages to our employees in their quest for success and becoming better in the field they are choosing? What are your learnings?
I don't know. I don't know what is success. I don't know how to strive for success. I can just strive for what I want to do. I can just strive for excellence in my work. And I think success is just a byproduct. It just follows. So I think what I have always stuck to is I'm from a very, very basic, middle class South Indian family, and I always remember that. And whenever I work, I really work hard. There is in whatever profession you do, if you're honest and if you're sincere about the quality, if you're very quality conscious and that sincerity is there, it will be seen in your product. Even if you make if you bake a cake, or if you make a song, or if you write a software, or if you make a chair, if you are sincere and if you are honest, that sincerity will be seen in your work. Maybe the first one will fail, second one will fail, third one will also fail. But definitely there will be a time when it comes that your sincerity, your honesty and your quality of work will be noticed and you will get your recognition.
This is my last question. Before we get into the more important one, maybe you must listen to his singing. That's more important. My last question is, do you think getting a break in a highly competitive industry like yours, which is also somewhere related to software industry as well, great companies like SAP, Google, etc. So, do you think when someone gets a break in such a competitive environment, do you think they have arrived or have they started?
I always feel they've started. They've not arrived at all. Definitely not. Because, a similar thing happens in reality shows. I think people say that, what happens to all these singers who come from reality shows and do they do well? Trust me, work-wise, all these people are doing pretty well. I mean, they are earning a lot of money. Each one of them is doing a lot of shows, traveling around. See, ours is a big country, remember that. So there is a requirement for performers all over the country. If you're a A-class performer, then you are called to some of the big functions where you get lots of money. Then even the smaller ones, smaller cities, smaller functions, so requirement is there. So all of them, they are earning pretty well. But then there is a little bit of a problem that happens with not all of them, some of them, most of them, is once they pass through this reality show and they are seen, they become a national figure. Just like as you mentioned, they also feel that they have arrived. They feel that, now I have become an established singer. So I won't do this, I'll do only this. And whereas they have to remember that this is just the first step. And God has been more than kind that He's given you the first step. He's given you entry into SAP. Now from here, you take this as your first step and see to it that now I will, now I'll show what I can do. And then start working from there onwards. And from there you can skyrocket. If you feel coming into this, now you're right, and then you just spend most of the time in a cafeteria, then God save you.
So thanks a lot.
I can sing? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Few questions from the audience. So, give it the time.
Few questions from the few audience.
Yeah. We will just take 2 questions. Yeah. So, anyway, yes.
Who is your favorite singer? Both male and female.
My favorite singer always, if you're referring to film music, if you're referring to other genres of music, I'll have to give you a list which is endless actually. But in film music, it has always been Kishore Kumar. Nobody will know.
Okay, we have the second one here.
Good afternoon. You have done one album called as Remembering Shakti.
Yeah.
So, can you share something about it and the experience you had?
See, Remembering Shakti is, it's not an album that we recorded in the studio. It was a concert that we did in Bombay, which they recorded and released it as an album. Shakti was a band, it's a legendary band, which was part of my growing up process. I used to listen to this band because it had some of the finest musicians like Zakir Hussain, John McLaughlin, and Shankar, and Vinayak. So we used to, by that time cassettes were available, to buy cassettes here, there, and try to analyze as part of our study, that what are they playing and how well they are playing, and try to replicate some of their melodies. Cut to after 30 years, I get a call from Shakti and saying that will you sing with my band? So this was something that all I wanted was to take a picture with the band Shakti. I never wanted to sing with them, but because I thought I can never sing with them. But they found me, my caliber, that I can sit on stage with these living legends and perform. And they invited me to perform in Bombay. It was a kind of a trial concert, trying me out as a vocalist in Shakti. We did that one concert. Then after that, the guitarist, legendary John McLaughlin, said that I want you to be a permanent member of Shakti. So I'm lucky to be part of Shakti.
Thank you. Thanks, Shankar. Thanks, Bhuvan. So that's about the